When making this fake book, it was like writing a novel. I needed to completely replace myself in the role of grandmother to understand an era that I had never experienced before. It is as if I have lived another life myself. Therefore, I, a systematic drawing learner, wanted to imitate the oral and clumsy brushstrokes of beginners, and presented it as a characteristic style of the entire diary. Grandma's name is Luo Hongyan, a traditional woman born in a rural village in South China. She has not been exposed to artistic influences, but in the year of her first pregnancy in 1967, she used her limited words and painting skills to write out the feelings. As the daughter grew up, the family had been assigned a house and moved to the town. The grandmother didn't notice the symptoms of her second pregnancy. She was overworked and caused a miscarriage. When she thinks that she would never get pregnant again, she accidentally discovered that she was pregnant. At this time, the supply and marketing agency where Grandma had been working was facing bankruptcy, and Grandma had to find another job. She rejected her good friend's invitation to go south to work together, but she secretly envied her. In the end, the grandma came to the town's textile factory as a cashier. 10 years passed on as usual, and the two children grew up day by day. In the year that her daughter graduated, Grandma's father passed away, which made her realize that she was no longer young, and many attempts she hadn't done before might not be done in her life. Within a few years, Grandpa was laid off in the middle of life. After some choices, Grandma decided to start a business with Grandpa to run a small shop. The family had a source of income again. After more than 10 years, they have reached the age of retirement, and their daughter has formed her own family. At this time, the friend who had gone out to work returned and brought new ideas about the big city. Grandma saw her glamorous appearance and suffered from envy to jealousy. At the suggestion of a friend, Grandma joined a tour group along and met a more legendary female friend, Yan's, on the way. After the trip, Grandma visited Yan's house, revealing her inner desire about a different life. Yan encouraged Grandma to take the first step and accompany her to fulfill her first wish, dyeing red hair. After Grandma came back, she started to make her own wish list, take a photo with a jeep, buy a camera of her own, go to Harbin to watch the ice and snow festival, go to Sanya to play in the water. It took her several years, from small to large, from close to far, to fulfill her wishes one by one, and wrote a second diary, as well as wish lists, that is completely different.